E305 is presented by Jeep.
Live, sort of. From E3, it's X-Play's Best of E3 2005 awards. Zelda, Full Auto, Nintendogs, Painful Surgery, and much, much more. When we bring the best that E3 has to offer. Grab your scorecards. It's award time. Please welcome E3 Homecoming King and Queen, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
No, it's not Nerd Prom. It's X-Play's Best of E3 05 award show.
Once a year, the video game industry gathers right here at the LA Convention Center for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. They unveil new games, new consoles, and a whole lot of hype.
Today, we slice through the hype with surgical precision to single out a handful of games that deserve your attention and give out X-Play's coveted Best of E3 awards. But who exactly covets them?
I don't know. I think it's some guy in a booth. Anyway, E305 was most notable for launching the new console cycle. We saw the debut of the Xbox 360, the PS3, and Nintendo's Revolution.
And hey, we really wish we could have played some more games on them. In fact, in the case of the Revolution, hey, we really wish there were some games for it.
Or a controller. Yeah, all the hot hardware in the world doesn't make a difference if we can't play your product on the showroom floor.
In other words, while we were wowed by Gears of War for the 360, we couldn't play it, and therefore no nominations for Epic Games' Little Badass.
And while Killzone for the PS3 was a showstopper that had everybody talking, all that Sony had was a trailer.
Bottom line, if we can't play it, we can't consider it for a Best of E3 award.
Clear on that?
Yeah.
It was for them. Anyway.
Our first category is Best Xbox Game, but we catch Microsoft straddling a console cycle, so at least one Xbox 360 game also makes the cut.
The nominees for Best Xbox or Xbox 360 game of E305 are...
Not all that plentiful. Playable Microsoft exclusives were a bit thin on the ground this year. Dead or Alive 4 looks great, but it was nowhere to be found on the show floor. Gears of War, another contender for biggest jaw-dropper of the show, was behind closed doors only. In the end, we were left with exactly 2 Xbox or Xbox 360 exclusive playable titles on the show floor that we really were into. Full Auto, Sega's over-the-top vehicular combat game that allows the total destruction of your opponents, your environment, and anything else you can hit, shoot, or burn. And Cameo Elements of Power. It's come a long way since we last saw it, and for the first time in 4 E3s, it made a very positive impression on us.
And the winner of Best Xbox or Xbox 360 game is... Cameo Elements of Power. It took years of work and 3 systems, but Cameo looks like it's finally ready for prime time. As Cameo, an elfin princess with shape-shifting abilities, you have to save your land from marauding trolls. It's all running smoothly and it's full of little details that make the gorgeous environments come alive. With all the next-gen console announcements, the poor little PC kind of got lost in the shuffle.
And with next-gen console graphics rivaling anything we've seen on the PC, this may be one of the last years your computer is a major player in the gaming industry.
But don't worry, you won't be using that $400 graphics card for a coaster just yet. We still found some solid games set to hit your computer in the upcoming year.
The nominees for Best PC Game of E305 are...
Age of Empires 3. The series just can't seem to slip up. Not just new, it's the new world run by your upgradable home city in Europe that's affected by your achievements both on and offline. It's good age stuff, and it's really pretty. Battlefield 2. More than just a prettier game, this is the war game you've always wanted to play. New classes, new weapons, scalable maps, a point system to encourage team play, and a commander role that makes the gameplay like an RTS. When you title a game Fear, you better deliver. Not as gory as it is creepy, it uses time slowdown, copious blood, and some vicious enemy AI to keep you on the edge of your seat. Some have even dared to call it the new Half-Life 2. One of the best strategy games ever gets a makeover with Rise of Legends. This time, it's given a mythical setting, including Leonardo da Vinci-esque clockwork people and an Arabian Nights-like magic race. Now you can conquer your fantasies in an hour. Oh, wait, that doesn't... okay. And the winner of Best PC Game of E305 is... Fear. Yeah, I know it's an acronym for First Encounter Assault Recon, but this doesn't feel like an acronym. Here's a PC game that takes all the goodies from recent PC titles. Awe-inspiring graphics, full-on physics, control over time, nasty enemy AI, and a whole lot of gore, and wraps it all up in a complex storyline that seems determined to make you jump. A lot. Nothing seems close to giving you a complete experience as this puppy, and that's why we cannot wait to wet ourselves. Oh, too late.
If you are thinking about channel surfing, don't, because I totally hold it against you.
It's true, she's psychic, and she'll know if you touch the remote.
In fact, I can tell what you're thinking right now. Hey, cut that out!
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Spray on some more Easy Cheese. When we come back, it's the award for Best GameCube Game.
Brought to you by Star Wars Galaxies. Everything you need to live the Star Wars experience online. In game stores May 26th.
Dun, 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 dun. Star Wars Galaxies, this isn't just a game, it's an online universe.
You can always log on. There's always something new there for you.
It's a persistent world.
Who hasn't wanted to visit Jabba's palace? And in there you can meet Jabba the Hutt, Han Solo, the Emperor, Luke Skywalker.
I can actually talk to these people.
The world is a living, breathing, thriving place.
You can go visit Naboo,
Tatooine and Endor.
There's no beginning and no end.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The galaxy just keeps on moving.
It's the total Star Wars experience.
Star Wars Galaxies, rated T for teen.
New Colgate Max Fresh Cinnamon, packed with mini breath strips that explode to give you burst after burst of intense freshness. Colgate Max Fresh with mini breath strips, so fresh it's almost scary.
Is ready for personalization at Scion.com with over 30 Scion accessories.
Invasion of the Fantanas.
Don't you wanna, don't you wanna? You look hot in all that plaster. Drink some Fanta faster, faster.
Where on earth will they show up next?
Don't you wanna,
If you're not having fun, they'll find you.
Wearing hats so hot and furry, you need Fanta in a hurry.
You could be next.
Don't you wanna? Wanna Fanta?
What does it take to be the Lords of Dogtown?
Nice.
To the Boy Kings! Lords of Dogtown, rated PG-13, opens everywhere Friday.
Coming up on an all-new whip set, after getting off to a slow start in round one, last year's champ Sam Hubernet looks to even the score at Road Atlanta.
Everybody stepped up big since last year.
But Taco Añono isn't budget. Can his old school Corolla hang with Sam's brand new Viper? It's the whip set, Sunday night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
If you're watching this, you must be as big a nerd as Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's Best of E305 Awards Show.
It's the final day of the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and the plus-size masses are eagerly awaiting our nominees for Best Game of E305.
But we can only nominate playable titles, which means very few next-gen games make the cut.
Turns out that it isn't a problem for our Nintendo nominations, since its new console, the Revolution, doesn't actually have any games yet. Guess Nintendo is saving the kicking ass and taking names for 2006.
Sadly, we haven't seen much for the GameCube either. It looks like Nintendo is putting most of its muscle behind its handheld titles, which, don't worry, we'll be checking out later.
But right now, though it's slim pickings, we managed to scrape together a few nominees for Best GameCube Game of E305. And here they are.
Geist, a spooky supernatural thriller. From ghostly ghosts to supernatural sequences to painstaking possessions, it's got it all. And anything can be possessed in Geist. Anything. The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. No surprise there, Zelda has always been one of the biggest names. Always a lot of pressure to make Zelda better and better, and Twilight Princess doesn't disappoint. It's got a bit more of a mature look, but the gameplay. Oh, sweet Link, the gameplay. Mario Baseball. Forget the drugs, the court bats, the Yankees, and just everything that's bad about the national pastime. We'll stick with Mario Baseball. We like our baseball the way it was in the 40s, with lots of Italian stereotypes. All those Nintendo characters you can't get out of your brain are here. Who needs Barry Bonds? You can have Donkey Kong. Both pompous a-holes. Odama. I always wondered how successful we'd truly be if we could combine military strategy with pinball. Well, wonder no more with Odama. Taking place in feudal Japan, as if there's any other kind of Japan, the story revolves around murder and whatnot. Sounds perfect for pinball.
And the winner of Best GameCube Game of E305 is... The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. I mean, what else could it possibly have been? Really? Set between the Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, Twilight Princess doesn't start off with Link the warrior we all love and have pity on. This Link is a simple farm boy. Will he ever learn the ways of the warrior? Call it a hunch, but we think he will. Yes, Twilight Princess has a different look than we've seen from the previous Zeldas, and the themes may be a bit darker, but that's the trend these days, isn't it? Twilight Princess is a great game.
As we said earlier, most of Nintendo's power is now being put into the DS, and it shows.
Of course, this is the first year that Nintendo's handheld dominance has been challenged by the PSP.
And while the graphical difference between the two handhelds is pretty obvious, ultimately it comes down to which one had the most addictive gameplay. And the rest of 2005 is going to be very good for the portable fans.
The nominees for Best Handheld Game of E305 are... Advance Wars Dual Strike is visually the same as the standard turn-based battling of the older games. However, Nintendo is focusing in on the real-time play, which provides a faster style of gameplay. So you'll have to wiggle your stylus as hard as you can to keep it up. Coded Arms is a first-person shooter that takes place in a virtual reality world that was supposedly shut down, but became self-aware or something like that. Konami has also announced that the game will be shipped with a random level generator. Let's hope it doesn't become self-aware. Infected is the first third-person shooter that has the main character using a viral gun to shoot bullets of his own blood to kill zombies in New York City. After a description like that, what's not to like about this game? Mario Kart DS. Do I really need to say anything about this game? It's Mario Kart. It's online. It's fun, and you know it. New Super Mario Bros. Don't mistake this as some old-school classic being re-released for the DS. In reality, it builds off the 2D worlds that made Mario such a hit in the 80s, and combines them with the signature moves he's developed in his 3D adventures. Nintendogs will make you want to vomit from adorable overload, but in a good way. Now children around the world can love their own puppy without all the death and sadness that's usually associated with buying children small animals. Trauma Center Under the Knife places you in the shoes of a junior doctor at Hope Hospital, where you're the only surgeon available to operate. Sounds more like a socialist nightmare than a video game.
And the winner of the award for Best Handheld Game of E305 is...
New Super Mario Bros. Oh, Mario, you delicious Italian stereotype. How is it that you can be so entertaining? The combination of classic side-scrolling and 2D worlds mixed with polygonal graphics makes Mario seem more fun than ever.
If you tune out now, you'll never find out who wins Best Game of E305, or if Cesar lives through the commercial break.
Or what?
Up next, things get trippy when we present the award for Best PS2 Game.
Gotham isn't beyond saving. On June 15th, evil fears the night. Batman Begins. Rated PG-13. Starts June 15th.
And launch him. Play Media
mouse wirelessly with up to 4 people. Rated E for everyone. Nintendo DS, now in electric blue.
Baby Ruth is a great tasting candy bar, and when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle, but no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
What is the color of innocence? What is the color of temptation? What is the color of passion? What is the color of defiance? Life is color. Nothing captures it like Panasonic HD TV, America's best-selling plasma brand. Get your rebate for up to $300 off installation. Call for details. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
This Wednesday on the G-Spot. Step into the future. For a full hour, Cinematex serves up trailers fresh from the E3 oven. We're under attack! They're all over the place! It's a darker, more dangerous Link in the Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. And there's no place to hide from Metal Gear Solid 4. Discover the best of what E3 had to offer. Find the G-Spot weeknights starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Miss America, there she is, your ideal. There she is, walking on air, she is, there's nothing fair, she is, Miss America.
Television's first digital beauty pageant, Video Game Vixens, only on G4.
Trapped on top of a giant platform, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Scoot closer to the soothing glow of your TV, Carolan. X-Play's Best of E3 05 award show is back.
This year, Sony debuted the impressive PS3, but had absolutely no playable games for it.
But that doesn't mean the PS2 is being neglected. On the contrary, Sony is one of the only developers still supporting its current console.
And we couldn't be happier. The nominees for Best PS2 Game of E3 05 are
Kingdom Hearts 2. It's a whole lot of saccharine and a whole lot of fun. We, like everybody else, are excited to play this Technicolor anthropomorphic romp, and what we saw makes it a big one for the PS2. Okami. Wow, this is one game without precedent. You control characters on screen and attack by using calligraphic brushstrokes. This is pure awesomeness. Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. Sly's back, and he's brought a lot of the classic platforming from the original with him. The gameplay seems even more diverse, and it has 3D. That works. This has best in the series written all over it. Shadow of the Colossus, the game that had us at Eco. There's nothing else that looks like it on the PS2 or anywhere else. Steeped in atmosphere with show-stopping moments as you scale the giant beast. We love Katamari. The title may be the most presumptuous in gaming history, but come on. It's got brilliant co-op play, and it's Katamari, so we love it.
And the winner for Best PS2 Game of E3 05 is
Okami. You take 1 second of looking at this game and you say, I haven't seen this before. Take a couple more seconds and it's, I need to be playing this now. Coming from Clover Studios, who produced the equally jaw-dropping Beautiful Joe, Okami is a mixture of visual innovation and experimental gameplay. While the game is apparently far from complete, what we've played already makes this one of the most exciting titles around. Just makes you want a woodcut in anticipation, don't it?
Now that the big three are working on next-gen development, it's up to the third-party developers to keep the Cube, the Xbox, and the PS2 stocked with good games.
And they're trying. They're really, really trying. The nominees for Best Multi-Platform Game of E3 05 are Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. The PC hit moved to consoles and the modern era in a brand new game featuring expanded multiplayer and a single-player campaign with AI that EA promises will be smarter this time. Seriously. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Underground and Hot Pursuit collide as tricked-out street rides take on the boys in blue. Phantasy Star Universe. After years of milking PSO almost unaltered and an ill-advised pit stop in card game country, Phantasy Star is back online with a vengeance. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The maps are bigger, the graphics are better, the online play is smoother, and there's Episode 3 content. Battlefront 2 addresses the problems of the first game and adds much-wanted new features. Ultimate Spider-Man. A refined version of the Spider-Man 2 engine powers this game based on the ultimate continuity version of the Webbed Wonder. A beautiful cel-shaded look and the ability to play as Venom rounds out the package.
And the winner of Best Multi-Platform Game of E305 is...
Phantasy Star Universe. So much work has been done on this game that it feels like a new series. Combat is more fluid and involves branching combos. There's on-the-fly weapon switching and class-based dual-wielding. In addition to online, PSU features a full single-player story mode that Sega claims clocks in around 40 hours.
If you leave now, you'll never know who wins our award for Best Game of E3 2005.
And could you really live with yourself not knowing?
No, but I can't live with myself anyway.
Coming up, it's the big one. The award for Best Game of E305.
The axe effect.
It is a heavy weight you carry.
Advent Rising. Race to save humanity and win $1 million. Rated T for teen.
I know what's been troubling you. Listen to me.
Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
I can feel your anger. It makes you stronger.
Rated PG-13.
If you don't like it tough, it's fair enough.
This episode is based on a 1990 Big Tobacco brainstorm session.
How can we improve Big Tobacco's image in the media?
We could be the media.
Own a media outlet. Yes.
We could examine other groups with image problems. Like the asbestos industry.
Exactly.
Or we could change our name.
Fair Enough is a Truth production.
Well, how come you haven't called me back?
Because I was drunk and just using you for sex, okay?
Really?
Brutally honest? Watch X-Play. Next.
This Wednesday on the G-Spot. Step into the future. For a full hour, Cinematheque serves up trailers fresh from the E3 oven.
They're all over the place.
It's a darker, more dangerous Link in the Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. And there's no place to hide from Metal Gear Solid 4. Discover the best of what E3 had to offer. Find the G-Spot weeknights starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Live from the LA Convention Center, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
It's X-Play's Best of E305 awards show, and we're all dressed up with nowhere to go. Because if we step on the show floor, the fanboys will totally kill us over that bad Dragon Ball Z review.
Anyway, we're back with the award for most original game.
Every year, we gripe about the endless string of sequels, Grand Theft Auto ripoffs, Halo knockoffs, and Bad Dudes clones. Bad Dudes.
This year, though, we didn't have much to complain about. And seriously, we always have something to complain about.
Yeah. See, last year we gave this award to Mercenaries and totally overlooked Katamari Damacy. Yeah, our bad.
This year, however, we exhaustively scoured the showroom floor to find a weird pinball/real-time strategy game, a calligraphy game, and a surgery game.
Yeah, he said surgery game. and our open hearts couldn't be happier. The nominees for Best Original Game of E305 are Odama. Yeah, this is just your average military real-time strategy pinball game. Wait, what the hell am I talking about? Seriously, people, it's pinball meets strategic war meets the GameCube's microphone peripheral so you could give your troops voice commands. It's so unique my brain is melting. Nintendogs. Yeah, it's reminiscent of the Tamagotchi, but who cares? This might just be the killer app the DS has been waiting for. Plus, you get to pet adorable puppies with your stylus. So cute. Trauma Center Under the Knife. WarioWare meets ER in a game that'll have you performing surgery and saving the world from a deadly plague. Plus, it's totally gross. Hey, isn't that Sessler's liver? Infected. Sure, it looks like just another zombie shooter for the PSP, but it's the online play that has us really excited. Design your own avatar and infect other PSP owners' games with your character. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If the title doesn't spell it out for you, maybe this will.
Objection!
Not enough? Well, it also claims the law has never been this fun. Phoenix, you had me at objection.
Objection!
Okami. Last but not least, a game built on the beautiful Joe engine where you play as a wolf who paints away her enemies using a calligraphy brush.
And the winner of Best Original Game of E305 is...
Trauma Center Under the Knife. How can you not love this weird import that features life, death, and the ability to perform nausea-inducing surgery with your stylus? It's been a long time since a game assured me I can perform surgical miracles to make hope a reality. Hope is a reality, people, and Trauma Center is why. Ooh, my liver.
It all comes down to this.
Hundreds of booths.
Thousands of games.
And an infinite number of fanboys.
Yeah, there are some fangirls too.
Yeah, but in the end, there can only be one best game of E305.
Last year we picked Resident Evil 4, and guess what? Turned out we were right. A year later, RE4 is still our favorite game of 05.
So what made the cut this year? Wouldn't you like to know?
The nominees for Best Game of E305 are... Cameo Elements of Power. This fairy princess can morph into marvelously destructive monsters and deal with a mind-bending number of enemies on screen at once. We've been waiting for this one a long time. But if it's as good as it looks, we'll finally stop complaining. Mostly. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess offers a mature Link with some flashy new tricks. People have been waiting for Link to start swinging his sword and kicking some ass on horseback since it was shown at last year's E3. Fear is a first-person shooter with a spooky twist. It's looking to master the standard FPS conventions while weaving story and imagery to scare the poo out of you.
Oh my god.
In Okami, you must restore color to the world in Capcom's stunning calligraphy battle game. Defeat enemies with a stroke of the brush. Bring beauty back into the world with an artistic flourish. Battlefield 2 for the PC showed up at E3 looking good enough to ship. This one's set in the near future, and you can roll in vehicles from the US, China, and the fictional Middle Eastern Coalition. Gorgeous visuals complement the intuitive gameplay and RTS elements to make the Battlefield 2 booth a popular spot on the show floor. And the winner of the award for Best Game of E305 is... The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Fanboy favorite Zelda made a huge impression at E305 with its older look and darker twist. Link seems to run into a touch of bad luck, and you will spend some time transformed into a grisly-looking werewolf, which is just about as much facial hair as you'll ever see on our pubescent hero. The basic combat is similar to Wind Waker, but instead of a boat, we have our trusty steed to speed us to our adventures. Battling on horseback looks to be addictive and challenging, and a welcome addition to the series. Animals are a large part of Twilight Princess, with each dungeon being themed with a different animal to help you on your way. Can you say helper monkey? Such innovation layered on a beloved franchise with a rabid following makes The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess the best game of E3 2005.
Well, that's it for us at E3.
See you next year.
Or next episode.
Yeah, we are on all the time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.